Now, Transport MEC Jacob Mamabolo and other officials are meeting with various representatives of the taxi industry this afternoon to thrash out a peace deal after the torching of vehicles last weekend. Taxi associations have listed several issues at the heart of the dispute and the violence. Some associations have refused to operate until their safety can be guaranteed. Manqoba Mchunu, our reporter, is tracking that story for us today. Manqoba, you've been tracking this story for a few days now. You've interviewed a number of the associations, including the National Taxi Alliance yesterday, that was looking ahead or looking forward to today's meeting. First up, is the meeting already underway? And when they went into this meeting, are they hopeful they'll find a solution that will be a long-lasting one?
Indeed, Pradan, that meeting is currently underway here in Boksburg. And of course, it is a closed meeting. It is only the taxi associations as well as the MEC and the two mother bodies, which is Santaco as well as the National Taxi Alliance, that are part of this particular meeting. So we are not inside the meeting as the media. But of course, we do know that these parties have committed to finding a lasting solution, Pradan. In fact, the NTA yesterday making it quite clear that they will not leave this particular meeting. They will not leave the premises up until there is a peace agreement between these two warring associations. Of course, this is a matter that has been of concern. It has been, there for quite a number of years, but then since 2014, when we saw the first incidents taking place of violence between the two taxi associations. And both of them are quite optimistic, but then that today they will be able to thrash out the issues and will be able to perhaps meet each other in some certain ways as to the matter of the routes, which is really at the heart of the dispute between these two associations. Of course, it is a difficult matter. It is a matter that needed the intervention of the provincial government. But the two parties, Pradan, when speaking to them yesterday, we spoke to Nanduwe, who are saying that they're quite optimistic, they're quite hopeful that today they will reach a peace agreement. But it's not for the first time, Pradan, that they'll be signing a peace agreement. We know that they've signed peace agreements before, but whether or not this one will last, I think will remain to be seen. How that meeting will pan out and what the outcome of that particular meeting is. We do know that there are quite a number of issues that are being talked about, and we have seen them also breaking into breakaway groups to try and deal with some of the issues that are before them. So the meeting is currently underway and it is continuing, and the MEC, of course, is the one that is chairing this particular meeting.
Okay, Manqoba, very briefly before you go, they are thrashing out these issues, one of which we understand from your conversations with some of them associations is about routes, but the other one, they want government to enforce the law.
Indeed, Pradan, and they are saying that they feel that government has not been playing its part in terms of law enforcement. You recall that on Sunday, Pradan, there was a meeting that was held between the MEC as well as some of these taxi associations, and one of the issues that was agreed to on that meeting was the issue of law enforcement, that there need to be more police officers on the ground, especially on these routes that are affected or these routes that are currently in dispute. And that is simply the issue of, the protection of the associations, the protection of the customers. That needs to be enforced by law enforcement officials. But yesterday the NTA, Pradan, saying that there are also issues of law enforcement officials that are seemingly partisan, that are taking sides and supporting other taxi associations at the expense of other taxi associations. And I guess that is one of the issues that is also being thrashed out here. We do understand that law enforcement officials are also part of these ongoing negotiations between the two parties. So that issue is also under the spotlight. But of course, the main issue is the issue of the routes and whether or not there will be a resolution to this dispute, because Water is insisting that they are not going to let this issue go. They insist that this particular route is or belongs to them historically, and that Nanduwe simply does not have rights to operate on this particular route. They are accusing the department also of causing this violence and this tension between the two parties by not resolving this issue. So we are going to see, Pradan, how that meeting is going to pan out and whether or not there will be a lasting solution.
And finally, Manqoba, Are all the associations, those two, you've mentioned Nandue and Vata, are they represented by their top leadership? I mean, we know government is there with the MEC Jacob Mamabolo, because it's one thing to come and meet, but you are not having people who are mandated to make a resolution on behalf of the association. Are the right people there?
Indeed, Praten, we understand that the chairmen of both the associations, that is Nandue, the Nansfield Dube West Taxi Association, as well as the Witwatersrand African Taxi Owners Association, are part of this meeting, as well as the leaders, the provincial as well as the national leaders of the two mother bodies, which is Santaco as well as the NTA, and as well as law enforcement officials. So they are here, Praten, and of course talking about these issues, hoping to find a resolution. This, of course, has been quite a huge concern, more especially for commuters who have really been caught at the center of the violence that has been going on between the two parties. And yesterday, the NTA apologizing, Praten, to those commuters, saying that they are hoping that today's meeting will lead to some sort of a resolution. So we are hoping that perhaps a peace agreement will be reached this afternoon here.
Yeah, maybe a long afternoon, and good luck to them, maybe into the evening. But the main thing, as you've said, Manqoba Mchunu, the commuters deserve a peace agreement. Thank you very much, Manqoba Mchunu. Then the latest on those taxi discussions that are happening there between the rival taxi associations that are fighting over routes in parts of Johannesburg.